Episode 14 of R2P Origins. Many of you are going to see this title and you're going to go, what? Adding the executioner? Well, let me take this story back to my freshman year of college. Stradley Hall, Ohio State. I played lacrosse at Ohio State, and there were several of us in this dorm on campus. One of the guys who went to Archbishop Spalding was extremely meticulous. Like, put shoes back in boxes, meticulous, very organized. His beard was always on point. If you needed a haircut, he would give you a better haircut than pretty much anybody. Nickname was MC Blades. For some of you who know our company, you know exactly where I'm headed with this. As we went throughout college, he went from being in a floor that was 2 floors away from mine to being a roommate for sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. We always had very organized spreadsheets with utility bills, and he was very punctual about getting that out and receiving it, and very rarely did he forget something or leave a stone unturned. So from a detail standpoint and from a consistency standpoint, you kind of had a really good idea of what kind of professional he was going to turn into. He went immediately into the sports management world as I went into PT school and worked his way up the company. He was doing a little bit of everything from the event operations standpoint, management standpoint, marketing standpoint. And to be quite honest, I'd always kind of mess around with him, and I'd kind of said, hey, MC, don't get too comfortable, man. This company might grow enough that maybe we'll hire you. And I think he would laugh it off a little bit. But I literally tried to hire him 3 times during the first few years of Rehab to Perform. To be quite candid, we just weren't in a position where I could pay him even close to what he was making at his previous place. But we got to a point where, especially after our little debacle opening up R2P2, that I started to kind of poke him a little bit more. I kept saying, Matt, what's going on, man? Like, where you at? Like, what would make you comfortable? Yada. And what I was eventually able to do was to convince him that there was a tremendous opportunity within our company and to join our team should he decide to make the move. And it may be a short-term sacrifice in terms of some of the financial things, but his long-term growth potential and his impact on our team, as well as his ability to continue to elevate, right, and grow as the company grows, was something that was very appealing for him. And I'm extremely grateful that in the spring of 2018, about 6 months after we opened R2P2, that we had our executioner. Okay, so for anybody that's read the book Rocket Fuel, I definitely have much more of the visionary, strategic thinker. He's the person that comes in and literally gets everything done. He drives it home. He makes sure that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. We are a completely different company with him. And I feel extremely grateful that he decided to join us, because he was exactly what I needed when I look back and still even look at my shortcomings, things that I'm not good at, things that I'm not incredibly passionate about. It's a very good partnership in terms of our ability to kind of yin and yang when it comes to behind the scenes support for the team, and ideally putting ourselves in a situation to continue to grow. A huge reason why we've been able to grow and grow at a not just a fast level, but while maintaining a certain amount of quality, is largely attributed to him. When you see social media, that's him. When you see email newsletter, that's him. When there are things going on behind the scenes with regards to HR, payroll. He helps me out with some of the accounting tasks. He impacts so many things that maybe you don't have to directly see him all the time to feel that impact. But when things get changed and they get changed on a company-wide level, he's usually at the center of that. When it comes to where we're at now, we are looking at an Annapolis location. He has lived very, very close to Annapolis, and that is a conversation that we had about, 3 years ago, because we're coming up here on the spring season of 2021, and I said, Matt, at some point we will be able to bring one of these locations to your backyard, to your neighborhood, to allow you to have the same opportunity that I've had to be impactful in the community in which you live in, to have a community-facing business, one that is not just focused on what goes on inside of the four walls, but focused on making an impact for all stakeholders in the community. He is somebody that I think everybody on their team initially was a little bit unsure if we kind of peel back early on, because it's like, all right, Josh is bringing in his buddy, it's his college roommate, we'll see. And the process in which getting him to that point definitely was a little bit more involved. So if we take it back to convincing the team, we had to have him, I shouldn't say we had to, things that we tried to do to go above and beyond were related to touch points, right? So how many different touch points could people have? And it's not that much different than when we actually end up hiring somebody and adding them to our team. He did a video for everybody where he told everyone about his background, told everyone kind of what his strengths were and what he liked doing, told him how he would impact our team and what he saw himself doing for us. That was tremendous. That made a big impact on a lot of people. Some of our our early stage people, our early adopters to the team, some of our core group, and it's not to say everybody's not important, but obviously we've had some people that have been with the company for a longer period of time. So making time for phone calls, making time to meet people for lunch, getting that face time, right? And being able to engage with people so that they could feel, how genuine and sincere he was when he said that he wanted to come in here and be that change agent that we needed. So if we then take that with where he's at now, he's gotten to a point where he's carving out more roles for other people behind the scenes. So as the company grows, he is growing. You talk about people that he spends probably the most time with outside of myself, and that's our behind the scenes team and our clerical staff. But he has been tremendous with regards to taking things off of my plate. And then he's also in a position where he has people who are taking things off of his plate. So overall, just tremendously grateful that he decided to take that jump and that leap of faith. I don't want to say it's a ton different, to be quite honest, than when Zach jumped ship initially. When I was talking about that, I think it was in episode 2 or 3, right? When we became a duet. So just very, very fortunate. Also happy that we could provide him everything that he thought that he was going to be provided when he decided to make that change. So MC, Matt Cornell, appreciate you, sir. Looking forward to the future. And for everybody watching this, stay tuned to episode 15.